I'm going to start sharing my screen with you. I think that I'm here. I don't know if you can hear me. Riverside is sharing a window. Okay, I think that you can listen to me. And if you can listen to me, then we're going to keep recording. And the first thing that we need in life, the first push that we need in life is strength, right? When you are running, you need strength. When you are coming out from your mother's body, you need strength. You have to push. Every single day in our life, we need to show strength or we need to be strong in different measures, but we have to be. So every family has a common soul and a common conscience. Conscience. The soul and this consciencia, are guided by three unwritten laws. So there are three unwritten laws that are the basics to keep balance in your family. So I'm going to talk to you about those three laws, and you will start thinking if in your family system, one of these laws is not in balance, is not according to the way that it's supposed to be, and then you are going to start understanding, oh, that's why maybe this happened or the other thing happened. The first one would be belonging. And belonging tells you that everyone in the system has an equal right to belong. This applies to the person, the family member that is living now, but also to the family member who is. And if I'm telling you this, that means that everyone in my family who is living now should have a place, correct? We should be able to talk about them. We should be able to say their name, to remember the name. They should have a name. So those family members that we don't talk to them or we don't talk about them, you remember that movie? I think that it was in 2021. This movie's name is Encanto, and there is a part of the movie, we don't talk about Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno because Bruno, he was the black sheep in the family. And Bruno was creating a symptom with someone that it was from a future generation from him, correct? And that's what happens when we don't talk about someone. That person, that family member, will need to be seen. It has that necessity, and even the own soul of the system needs that to happen. And if someone is born, probably to connect with that story and can have fatal symptoms. When we talk about the belonging connected to the person who died, to the family person that already died, is that unborns, the miscarriages, the abortions, someone who died in an accident, someone who died very early in life, we should know the story, we should know their names, we should know what happened, why the baby died, how did this grandmother, great grandmother mourn, how was the process of grieving about losing a child. All the things are going to give to that soul of that family member the sense of belonging. Everything in the family system that is like a tree, like the tree that I'm showing you right now, it's a tree. The tree what wants? What does a tree wants? A tree wants to have the leaves to be healthy, the roots to be healthy and strong. A tree wants to get some sun to live, right? With all the vitamins that it needs. It needs to have a lot of enough hydration, etc., etc. It's always looking for balance. And actually, our bodies, physical bodies, our bodies are always looking for balance. That's when we have some acute symptoms, a runny nose, or I didn't detoxify, or I kept this anger with me. Someone has diarrhea. This person needs to get rid of a lot of things because ate too much. So everything is always trying to look after balance. But because in family constellation we say that the family system has a soul, and that soul has life, has energy. When the soul of the system realizes that we are not talking about someone, or we are not talking about Bruno, or we are denying someone a place, the place that they should have in the system is going to try to bring balance. And how does it bring balance? Again, with a new member, with the future generations, that's when they are going to try to bring balance. So this new member is going to try to show a symptom that is going to be like the symptom is going to try to tell you what is wrong, what you should do, and that's the way they supposed to be. Now we are going to move to the second screen here, and I'm going to try to do it. All right. So the solution for the person who is identified will be to honor the excluded family member. And then it says, that is to grant that family member a place in her heart. When I honor someone, so let's say that I am a Buddhist and I honor Buddha. Say that I'm Catholic and I honor God. I honor my own existence. I surrender, right? I don't judge. I just have I'm in complete gratitude and I honor this situation, this being, this person. That's what we should do. But what about if I tell you, or if you knew this story, that one of these family members that are excluded is because that grandfather or that great grandfather was cheating on that great grandmother? So I will ask you, are you still gonna be including this family member? Because if I tell you he was a king, are you gonna be including him the same way that if he was cheating to the great grandmother? Probably not, right? Because you're gonna start judging. That part, the solution comes from a place in the heart, in your heart. And your heart doesn't know about judgment. Your heart only knows about compassion and integration. And that's what we should do. See the story, listen to the story, do not judge, and honor the ancestor and say, like, for example, I know that you couldn't stay longer, but I still honor your life. And I will honor your life doing the best that I can with my own life. Sometimes in our family, in our family system, we don't talk about someone because the fate of that person was too sad. And we don't want to say it. We don't want to say that great grandmother died when she was giving birth to your grandmother because it was too painful and they never processed that pain. So that's another characteristic. And there is a phrase that said, those who come earlier in the system have precedence over those who come later. And this is just factual. This is just something by the fact that I am 42 and you are 65, you are older. Besides the story, you have precedence and you are bigger than who I am. So in this balance that the family system is always trying to bring, they always want us to do that, to have precedence or to give precedence to the oldest ones in the family system than to the youngest ones. And it says, when the status of those who come earlier is acknowledged, those who come later are free. Do you see? I am free because I acknowledge the status. I acknowledge that you are older and that you know better and that you live longer than I did or that I am living now. So we can set up free in that way. And it sounds very easy, but sometimes put it into practice is hard. Now I want to talk to you about this one here. That is the giving and taking with love. And if someone gives me something to create balance, I have to give back some. And when it's about a partner and a couple, when I give one to my couple, to my partner, because I trust him and I know that he loves me, I know that he's gonna give me one plus. And he's giving me that one plus because he knows that I'm gonna give him one plus plus. And that's gonna create a perfect balance in a relationship. But sometimes there are women or men that they think that they know better than their partner. So we create an imbalance because we are trying to we create orders instead of sharing, right? or we try to give more presents when the person maybe they just want one present, or we try to buy them more things for the house when the other person haven't given me anything, or I say more I love yous and the other person doesn't say I love you back to me, not because doesn't love me, maybe because he has an issue or she has an issue saying I love you. And in this way, the exchange of giving and taking between the lovers grows, and with it, the depth of the relationship. Why? Because you started in zero, right? Giving to your partner. And then you turn to one plus, two plus, three plus, and then you keep growing that relationship. And there are disorders in giving and taking are the ones that I mentioned. And I always say, when should I give something? Well, if it's your birthday, I'm gonna give you something. If it's an anniversary, I'm gonna give you something. If it's special date, I don't know, your graduation, I'm gonna give you something. But am I gonna give you a present every single day? That's not healthy, not even for the partner, not even for our children, because we create a debt for the other person that is receiving that they won't be able to give it back to us, and it's gonna be too much, and there is gonna create a huge imbalance in the family, in the relationship, but also in the family if we are doing this with our children or with our parents, right? There is something, I don't know, I don't see this much here in the United States, but it definitely happens in Peru when we usually don't take our elders to a place to live that is not with us. So, for example, if my mom is 75, she will be living with me instead of taking her to a, a place like those home care, home cares, I think that is the name. But do I have the obligation to do that? No. But I'm gonna tell you, this happens a lot, maybe in Latin America, is that we put that weight like if it's my obligation. And we have to give to our parents as much as we can, but without being detrimental for our own family. That is our husband or our wife and our children. We receive our father, our parents are gonna give us, right? That's part of the balance because they are older than us. We're gonna move to the other one, and this is gonna be one of my favorites, I think. So here on the left side, we have this chart that said family tree. And in the family tree, you will say this person said me, let's say me, Alida, my siblings, and my mother and my father, right? They are in a parallel way. And what that helps you to do when you start building your family tree, I always recommend first, this is just an example, but to make it a little bit bigger, so you can write out, for example, the birth dates, the day of death, the career, and how do they die. Those four things. If you cannot find one thing, it's still okay, but it's gonna give you a lot of insight. And this family tree, this chart, is gonna be your totem. It's gonna be a source of strength for you because you can put it in an altar. So I don't know if you can see my altar, but I have some flowers because it was just Dia de los Muertos Halloween. The next day is Dia de los Muertos, the day of the dead. So I make my altar and I put there, and all my family is being represented in that chart. And again, you can go to get some information about your family tree for free in Family Search in My Heritage and find a grave.com. But now we have this chart with numbers. So the number 1 is going to represent January and the number 12 is going to be representing December. And this is going to be very briefly, but I want to explain to you because since today we are doing the basics. If I am in number 3, which I am number 3, so I am March. And my mother is number 6, that is June. My sister is in number 6, that is June. My two aunts, my mom's siblings are in number 6. My father, his and his father, who is my grandfather, my daughter are in number 9. And my grandmother and her and my great grandmother are in number 12. You see all that information here, right? And I have days. So they said some of them they die in March, in September, in June, which means for me is that have more influence in my life from the events and from the family members that are in that blue line. The same is going to happen from February to November and from January to October. You are going to know when was your conception. That is another important date because if I was born in March 30th, I was born in March 30th. I have to go 9 months before 3, 6, 9, correct? Now I'm in June, and I count 10 days before my birthday. So it doesn't matter if you were early, if it was cesarean, it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna go to June 30th minus 10 days, it's gonna be June 20th, correct? So if I'm June 20th, if I if I rest 10 days, it will be June 10th and then June 30th, right? June 20th is right in the middle. But guess what? My mother's birthday is on June 9th. Well, she's one day different, one day before my conception. My sister is June 16. My aunt is June 16. My cousin is June 30th. June 30th, almost the same to me, 3 months. We're very close. So that's gonna give me information because the day of your conception. How was my mom? Was she happy that she got pregnant? My conception was after a party. My conception was because they were wanting for 7 years to get pregnant. So that's gonna give you insight. And also you can add here the day that you got married, the day that you started your own business, the day that they gave you your driver's license. For example, they gave me my driver's license in June. Not only in this country, this was in June in United States, and my driver's license in Peru was in March. I met my husband in December. So all those things. And that's going to give you insight. It doesn't mean that we are connected to every single event that happened, but as you are writing it down, you will start seeing like, oh, I don't remember this that happened to me. Oh, my grandmother had the same symptom. And you start writing it, and that's going to help you with different things because if you understand what is the root cause, the emotional root cause, the energetic root cause, the lineage root cause, the inherited root cause, you have a lot of information to heal that root cause and heal deeply, not in the surface, not taking the headache pill, right? For the headache, for the painkiller. So this is what I wanted to share with you today. These are the basics of family constellations, and I gave you already a lot of information, and now you are going to be thinking every single time that I had a class of family constellations back in the day when I was doing my training, the first year especially. I finished my class and I was like thinking, I wanted to know more. I want to investigate more. So this is for today. I'm going to come back next week. And I want to tell you that I still have some candles available that are for ancestral healing. I have ancestors letting go, inner child healing. I also have a YouTube channel and I have on Spotify. Now I'm going to be in Apple and I'm going to be in another one that I forgot the name, Buzzsprouts, I think. If you have any questions, don't forget that I do have a free 30 minutes discovery call that is free. And I hope that you are enjoying whatever in any station that you are now, like in any weather that you are now, if you're in the south or if you're in the north, we're all changing and the changes are good. Changes are very good. We learn a lot. Thank you so much.